What's going on, everyone? Thanks so much for tuning in. Today's video is a very special one. Next to me I have Todd Lozier. 4 generations ago, his family was building some of the most expensive and opulent cars that money could buy, such as this 1914 Model 84, which is Todd's personal car. So we're actually at the Atlanta Concours d'Elegance. We just finished up with the Drive to a Cure rally for Parkinson's. It was a lot of fun, and if you guys follow me on social media, we've already posted a ton of pictures, so definitely go check that out. So I had the pleasure of meeting Todd on this trip, and I thought this was a really cool opportunity to get a quick look at one of these cars because they didn't make too many of these in the first place, and there's only about 40 or so left, right?
Well, yeah, about 30 whole cars, and,
Okay.
and maybe 34. There's another 4 chassis that are still, so yeah, less than 40.
Across the internet, you see a lot about supercars, ultra luxury cars like Rolls Royces and Bentleys, and I've featured a lot of them on my channel, but for its day, this is about as good as it gets when it comes to build quality, the technological innovations, performance. It's a fantastic car, and Todd is gonna give me the chance to drive it. Well, first of all, teach me how to drive it because I'm a little scared. It looks a little daunting.
I want you to be nervous. Yes, Just keep it under 70.
Yeah, but I got some period correct gear. I think we're about ready to get started. But before we hop in, I wanted to talk to you a little bit more about and give the viewers an idea of what makes Lozier such a special brand, because I know this particular car, I mean, it uses an all aluminum body. I mean, just a lot of really advanced stuff for 1914.
Yeah. No, that's right. I mean, the technology that they had for an American-built car was pretty incredible. Their first car came out in 1905. Before that, their lead engineer had made at least 3 trips to Europe, including buying a Benz and shipping it back and dissecting cars and just learning as much as they could about the technology. The motors are all ball bearing. They're super reliable, super powerful. So yeah, this motor has never been rebuilt.
Wow. It's over 100 years.
It really is incredible. The places that folks find these motors who are really interested in these cars, nowadays they find them in sawmills, in old manufacturing plants running air compressors. So long after the car might have rotted away, the engines were always preserved.
The heart lives on.
Yeah, it's amazing to take one of these things apart and see all the ball bearings around the crank. So
Lozier, they offered 4 or 6 cylinder engines.
Yeah, that's right.
So how could you elaborate a little bit more on this one?
Well, it's a 4-cylinder. Okay. The way you can easily identify one is by the length of the hood.
Okay.
So the 6-cylinder is about 6 inches longer. Otherwise, everything else on the cars are identical.
Okay.
So the 4. Back in those times, people wanted 6 cylinders. That for luxury cars, that was more had more appeal.
These cars were also used a lot in racing, right?
Oh yeah, racing back then was huge from a marketing standpoint because reliability and endurance was so important, and people were so worried about getting stranded on a dirt road somewhere. Yeah. That racing is what really proved the endurance of these cars, and so all the big manufacturers were trying to get into racing.
Right.
Lozier was no exception. They went at it full steam ahead, and they kicked some booty. Yeah, so not only this car has been an absolute dream of mine to own. I actually acquired it in 2009. I wanted one all my life, and I was very fortunate to have circumstances that allowed that to happen.
Right.
And my other dream, really for my life, that I'm going to make happen, is to create a movie. It's about the race. It's about the fact that this car actually won the first Indianapolis 500.
That's incredible.
Now, according to the records, it got second place.
Right.
But I have some circumstances and a story about some great people that I really am looking forward to sharing with the world.
Oh, I hope it's a reality one day. It's just definitely something I'd like to check out.
All right, you will.
I think that's all my questions for now. I'm excited to learn how to drive this.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it. Right. I can honestly say I didn't think I would ever do this in my life. This is awesome.
Here we are.
I have no idea what I'm looking at.
Yeah, so there's quite a process here. You would think in this year that it was just super simple, right?
Yeah.
Well, no, it's not so simple. So number one, we have an air pressure gauge here. So it shows 0 to 4 psi.
Okay.
So we want to pump that up to about 1.5 psi. Do that maybe 5 times, and so that's going to force the gas to the carburetor, and then once the car starts, it just automatically will draw.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So we have a 4-speed transmission here. It's not your typical H pattern though.
No,
so
it's not.
Take a look. It's 1, 2 on the top, 4, 3 on the bottom. They couldn't have made it more confusing.
And then reverses over.
Yeah, reverses down to the right, and then you have a button for reverse. Then find your foot pedal where your starter is.
Right
Don't
there.
screw it yet. And it's not like you just click it. You have to just push it down and just let it crank.
Okay.
And then you're going to let up. It might crank for 5 seconds. Yeah, just go ahead and lay it down. Don't worry about it. There you go.
Oh. That's so cool. Wow.
Yeah, just go ahead and lay it down.
So all of these levers are going through the steering column and
That's right.
somehow magically doing things.
Yeah, and we'll go ahead and put this straight up. Should be good there. And notice how tight the steering is.
It is.
In other words, you think about like an old Cadillac in the 70s, how loose. This thing has a tight ratio.
Oh man. Should I just go up that car path? I've only gone like 50 feet and this is the most fun I've ever had in a car in my life. I'm not gonna lie, the hill was a little daunting. I don't think I've ever driven something this high aside from like a lifted pickup or something.
Right.
What is the value of one of these cars nowadays?
Well, it's always hard to peg, you know, so this is a one-of-one car.
Right.
The two recent sales that I've witnessed have been 1911 and 1909 cars respectively that both went in the $1 million range.
Oh my gosh.
This particular model...
No pressure?
Yeah. This particular model hasn't seen those kinds of numbers, but it's also very rare that he's ever come up for sale.
Right.
So if I had to guess, I would say 300,000 to 400,000.
Gotcha.
That's about as good as it gets. So the transmission, I mean, there's a combination of things. One, it is just plain difficult.
Yeah.
But it's also, you know, a 100-year-old transmission that's never been rebuilt. And so it is, I'm sure the gears in there aren't exactly perfect.
Right. So just in a little bit and then in again and shift?
Yeah, so in to get it into neutral, and then in again to get it to third, or yeah.
Not exactly
I don't know what
smooth,
you
but
just did, but that works.
all right. Beginner's luck.
Yeah, that was sweet. And did you look at the motor?
No, I haven't. Yeah.
While it's running, it's
Look at that.
this is about a 400 cubic inch 4-cylinder. So if you can imagine,
Yeah.
these Folgers cans, you know,
That is massive.
big cylinders.
Gosh.
Oh, and the horn is fun.
That's awesome.
And if it was ever really cold, you could put fuel in these little pockets and open it up and put fuel directly into the cylinders
Okay.
for a really cold startup. This is an air compressor here because these tires didn't hold air very well. And this one is a really unique feature. But how convenient to have an onboard air compressor to fill up your tires.
This here?
Yes.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah, right there. One very comical thing is the firewall.
Okay.
What's a firewall for? It's well, it's made out of wood.
Is
so you
it?
have a wood firewall.
Wow, it is.
And you can see how it's darkened around the headers.
Yeah.
And that sort of thing. And
interesting.
All original wires.
Gosh, it just looks so massive from this side.
Yeah.
I can only imagine the size of the pistons.
Huge block of vanadium steel.
Look at the size of the oil pan too.
And the heads and the valves are integral with the block, so you can see this is almost like a valve cover here.
Yeah.
It's very simplistic. And this is the carburation right here.
Okay.
So that's your intake manifold. This is the oil fill. This 4-cylinder motor holds about 14 quarts of oil.
14.
Yep. Yep. And the
wow.
The oil in the engine it also mixes and is one with the transmission. So there's just one huge oil pan that extends the whole length of the engine and the transmission. And I have, you know, the original manuals.
No way.
This was the book of instruction on how to use the car. The person that bought the car. And it's fascinating to look through this.
Wow.
And talk about, there's the engine with that large oil pan.
Well, that was an experience I will never forget. That was absolutely incredible. I cannot thank you enough.
You did great. You got that 1-2 shift first time.
I was really surprised about that. I was like
jealous.
I was like, please don't break it. Please don't break it. Honestly, until now, I mean, this has given me such a greater appreciation for these cars because while everything relatively from the 50s and forward is easy to you know, get in and drive and figure out, it's all pretty conventional. This takes a certain level of skill that was just kind of daunting until now. But anyway, hope you enjoy the rest of the show, and I guess be sure to stay tuned next time, guys. There's always a lot more where that came from. Take care.